purchased this property, I said, if Vinny doesn't come with it, it's not a deal. That was in the escrow. Vinny, and I think, it's kind of interesting because when we purchased the property, I had a truckload of marble that I wanted to put somewhere. And the real estate agent, Mary Ann, said to me, let me call the church owners and see. And again, at that time, we didn't own the property, you guys did. And Vinny said, oh, by all means, he can put it in here, and I'll meet him tomorrow to show him where to put it. That was his biggest mistake. Vinny got here. I came from California. I had a truck full of marble. I think I had 3 blowout tires that trip.
Yes, you did.
And so Vinny got here and said, oh, I'll help you unload the marble. But he didn't see how much marble was in
the door first next time.
So it took us about 8 hours to unload the marble, put it in one location, and then he's like, if you need to know where things are and, just let me know. Here's my number. Not a mistake.
It's getting deeper and deeper.
And so Vinny gave us his number, and Vinny and Tony has been a godsend. They're here every other day. Tony has a room upstairs.
I didn't know it either.
For the past year. Now, granted, I've been here 9 times last year.
Is that
I've
what
made
that
9
shaft
trips.
is for?
The jacket?
That shaft. Is that goes
That's
to
for you.
That's to your
So
room.
I made 9 trips back and forth to California, but Vinny and Tony has been the face of Stone Castle Abbey for the past year, and we so appreciate it. It's interesting, and I know you guys are all church-going people, but, Vinny truly is a wonderful example of Christianity. And when we were buying this building, it was truly a smooth transition, and we didn't feel like anyone was pulling anything over our face, because he really exemplified what the true meaning is of Christianity. So thank you, Vinny, and thank you for the church family that encourages him to do so. Yes, sir.
I'd like to say one thing. I'm glad to find out where Vinny lost his marbles.
And we do have to point out that when weekends arrive, we do have a third helper, Melinda.
Yes.
Yes, we do.
Absolutely.
Yes, she has a lot of sweat and blood
On this
in
floor.
all these floors.
So we bought the building a year ago. I tell the story all the time, and when I'm 90, I'm sure I'll be telling the story. We were not looking for a church. We weren't looking for this building. This building found us. Our good friend that lives in Southern California also lives in Egypt. And one morning, at 2 o'clock in the morning, I got a text from her that says, this building have your name all over it. Take a look at it. I woke Michael up and I said, look at this building. And he goes, is the building on fire? I goes, no. He's like, show me tomorrow. The following day, I said to him, I said, I really like this building. We need to look at it. And so he's like, I've heard of Newcastle. My mother used to go through Newcastle to go to, what's the place in Ohio?
Youngstown.
Youngstown, one of those places. And so he's heard of Newcastle, but never. And so we called the real estate agent up the next day, and I said, I'm interested in the building. I'm sure she got 1 million people that said, I'm interested in the building. But then I said, we'll be there in 2 weeks to look at the building. And so 2 weeks later, we came and looked at the building, and we fell in love with it. And I have not regretted making that decision yet. Talk to me in a year with more gray hair. But it has been a wonderful journey, and we are just very humble and honored to be custodian of this building, because we're not owners. We are merely custodian, and our responsibility is to leave it a little better so that the folks that come after us can appreciate this. Because this is truly the highest honor that can be bestowed on anyone, is the custodianship of the house of the Lord. And this is truly the house of the Lord. So we're very honored and very humble to be taking on such a tremendous responsibility and a tremendous honor. And everyone in the city of Newcastle have been more than welcoming and has been extremely encouraging and very helpful in our journey. And my long-term goal with this building, I hope 100 years from now, let's hope I'm still here, but if I'm not here, I hope that this building is still here and still be the building that we love and appreciate right now. Our goal is to turn this into a 5-star accommodation for folks to stay. We have a fairly successful wedding business in Southern California, which I'm selling, and we're gonna relocate that business here to Newcastle. It's going to be a little different. It will not be your traditional wedding venue where anyone can walk in and get married. Yes, we will have opening for regular folks in the community, but we're really going to try to attract folks from other communities, other states, that can come here and experience what Newcastle has to offer. Our plan is to put 20 bedrooms in this place and bathrooms.
Yeah.
Nice reception rooms, the sanctuary, we will take on all the pews, and that will be a grand room for your wedding reception. And our goal is that we'll do destination wedding, where folks will stay here for a week with us and experience what Newcastle have to offer. We're looking at, activities within an hour from this area. There's Lake Moraine up the street. There's other things that people can do, and so we really will push the emphasis of, there are folks that may have the resources but don't want to go to Europe. You can experience Europe here in Pennsylvania at Stone Castle Abbey, and so that's our long-term goal with this building. If God's will, next year will be the official year that we move here. Well, not next year. This year, the end of this year, will be our year to move here, and for this to be our primary home. We still have a place in California that we'll keep, that we can go back when it's really cold here. But primarily we'll be here.
Only if you take me.
Only if we take Tony. We'll be here, so, and we tell all the church members,
Florida's not
by
the
all
same.
means, you're always welcome to stop in
I
and
gotta
see what
work.
we have to do. If you have a free hand and feel like
I
painting,
know.
no offense to Tommy, he's
Lot
the
of
pit
rooms.
master.
Lot of
Or
rooms.
if you feel like laying floor or tile, by all means, we won't turn you down. Vinny, Tony, myself, and Melinda put in all this floor that you see here. So when we bought the building, you guys all remember what it looked like. It had blue walls. Let me ask you this, Jane. You went to Epworth, right? What's with blue? Was there a special in blue, or somebody
Well,
loved blue?
The
got a deal
trustees
with the
allowed
hardware store.
for certain colors. And blue was the color that so many of them loved
Wow.
for the sanctuary.
Yeah.
And
They can have it all back.
Blue seemed to be the color, but there was a lot of blue, which is nice. But we are covering up some of the blue. So this room obviously was done in blue and blue carpeting, and so we had it all ripped out. And
This wasn't blue.
was it?
This wasn't blue.
What
This
color was
was
this?
like almost a mauvish.
Oh, okay.
But that was also that time when blue
can't
and mauve
Was the thing to have. Yeah.
Remember
So-
And this had
where the
mauve
library was?
Carpeting.
upholstered chairs
The
Yeah.
library.
with
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. And then I'm sure you guys remember this was the library, which today
Okay,
is our
there it
dining
was,
room.
okay.
The kitchen, which still is their kitchen. And then we had all the little classrooms here. And obviously we knocked a couple walls down and closed a couple doors. So the first room is the Windsor room. So wherever your ancestry is from in Europe or Southeast Asia, you can look in that room and you can find either the first or the last monarch of that particular country. The second room is the library. If you want to go in there and read all the books, you can. And then the third room is the music room. And that room was a much smaller room, and so we knocked the wall down. There was a nursery behind that, like an entrance to the nursery, and so we created that music room. We still have the nursery behind that, which will be a bedroom. And then there was a bathroom, and then the office was in front of that. And so we blew those walls out, and tomorrow morning, the framers and the plumber will be here to put 6 powder rooms where the office used to be.
Oh,
So
wow.
we pulled up the carpeting in the Nortex and put in the Carrera marble. We've kept the slate, which I absolutely love. So we'll always keep the slate in the entry and so forth. Okay, are we ready to go for a little tour, and then we'll go upstairs and we'll see our private apartment, and then we'll come down and have dinner.
Okay, all right.